Good afternoon, folks. It is time for Lyon College football. Big Daddy Randy Allen here. We are at home taking on the SAGU Lions, one of the top 3 teams in the Sooner Athletic Conference. But before we get to talking about the Lions, we've got to talk about Wayland Baptist and the Pioneers. The pregame show with Coach Casey Creehan, a service of the Lyon College Kilted Army. You want to help out our student athletes? Just log on to lionscots.com, click on the icon there, become a member of the Kilted Army, and help out our student athletes here at Lyon College. Coach Creehan, tough loss Saturday.
Yes, it was. Proud of our kids and the way they played, and anytime you go to 4 overtimes, it's obviously a hard-fought game, and we faced plenty of adversity in that game, and the kids continued to fight through it and gave it their all. So very proud of them.
Absolutely. I mean, longest game in program history for Lyon College. I mean, you're trading back and forth. I mean, before we get there, we got to talk about kind of a dismal first half, if you did. We went into intermission 21-3 there, and we didn't play very well. We kind of did what we do when we go on the road a little bit there in the first half.
We did. We struggled to start, and, a couple bad things happened right off the bat. We got a ball ripped out of our arms and gave them, I think it was a 21-yard field to start the game, and they went ahead 7-0, got a hold those to field goal attempts, and we didn't get it done. And then, they hit us on a play or two, and offensively we would – do a couple good things and then shoot ourselves in the foot with a penalty or whatnot. And then next thing you know, we were in a little bit of a hole, but we were able to go in and make some halftime adjustments and come out and play a pretty solid second half. Kept
them scoreless through most of the second half. I think 3.5 minutes, maybe a little bit closer to the end of regulation, where they came in and actually finally put some points on the board in the second half. But the defense played well. And, of course, you got things rolling offensively, too, there in the second half.
We did. And, defensively, the second half was very good. I mean, they scored with 3 minutes left on a kickoff return for a touchdown. So, and then, against our defense, they didn't score again until the last play of the game when they kicked a field goal, and that was after some unfortunate circumstances. But, and then offensively, we did a tremendous job. I thought our coaching staff, led by Coach Gregory and Coach Sheehan, did a great job of pinpointing what we could do to kind of take advantage of some of the things they were doing defensively. And those guys really did a nice job, and the players as well, executing and getting us back in the game.
I know you say it each and every week. You wouldn't have a better kicker, or there's not another kicker on the face of the planet. I don't think you wouldn't have than Nacho Gomez, who really kept us in this ballgame. Of course, we traded field goals there in the overtime periods too, but I mean, still a tremendous weapon in Nacho.
He is, and I say it every week. There is no one else I'd rather have, and not only is he a great kicker, but he's a great person and a great student athlete. So he's just it's a joy having him in this program.
Absolutely it is. Well, Coach, let's take a 2-minute timeout, and I want to talk about overcoming adversity. We'll do that here in 2 minutes here on 93 KZLE. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Lyon College football. We're at Pioneer Stadium at home, looking for a 2 p.m. kickoff coming up just around the corner. This is the pregame show, a service of the Lyon College Kilted Army. Lionscots.com. Click on the icon there on the homepage and become a member of the Kilted Army. Coach Creehan, the game didn't turn out quite like you wanted to. We may or may not have gotten a couple of questionable calls, but that's really all I'm going to say about that. And when you play sports, it's just like life. You have to overcome adversity. You have to overcome a roller coaster of emotions. And that game on Saturday was that. I mean, it was full of adversity. It seemed like the deck was stacked against us from start to finish, even all the way through the overtime period, too. The emotions had to be up and down. Just kind of take us through that a little bit. And how do you address these guys after that?
Well, you're right. It was a roller coaster, and even in spite of some situations that happened out on that field, we still had opportunities to make a few plays to still win the game, even in spite of the adversity. So those are things that we could control that we didn't. But the biggest thing that I wanted to tell the team was I was proud of the way that they fought back in the game, the effort they put forth. They played their hearts out. And at the end of the day, all you can do is the best you can do. And I think that our guys, although there were some plays that we could have made that we didn't, I think the guys put their best effort forward. And we just came up short for various reasons. And, I think anytime you do things to your best of ability, you're going to be a winner, whether the final score says you were or not. In my book, the team was winners that day because of the way they fought.
Absolutely. And talking about, I know it's a team effort, Coach, but we got to talk about one individual, the Defensive Player of the Week for the conference, Mr. Sam Taylor.
Yeah, Sam is, there's just so much I can say about Sam. I mean, he's a guy that he faces a lot of adversity in his own life the things he does to be able to be here at Lyon College. He's working jobs. And he's worked himself into being not only a great football player, but a great student athlete, a great person. And I just can't say enough about him.
Absolutely. Coach, our record doesn't really reflect where we think the team should be right now.
Yeah, 2 overtime losses have been tough. Those are 2 games that could have very easily gone our way, but they didn't. And at the end of the day, you are what your record says you are. And, we've got to find a way to get over that hump. We've been in a lot of games down to the wire, and we got to find a way to get over that hump.
We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to talk here in the next segment, Coach, about, our opponent that we have in front of us, because no matter what happened last week, we got to move on and play that game.
Yes, sir.
That's right here in front of us. We'll do that right after this 2-minute timeout. Lyon College football on the air. Big Daddy Randy Allen here with you. The Coach Casey Creehan Show, a service of the Lyon College Kilted Army. It's our athletic booster club. You want to support our student athletes at Lyon College? Just log on to lyonscots.com. Click on the icon on the homepage and become a supporter. Become a member of the Kilted Army. Coach Creehan, today we got a tough road to hoe ahead of us. We look record-wise, conference-wise, SAGU, Southwestern Assembly God University, and the Lions are one of the tops in our league right now.
They are, and they're led by a tremendous offense and a tremendous quarterback. And, they're a challenge in a lot of ways stopping them. In fact, nobody really has stopped them all year. Even games they've lost, they haven't really been stopped. They've scored a lot of points, and that's who they are. And they're well coached, and they execute what they do. Sometimes to perfection. Their quarterback doesn't miss much. He's very accurate. They're a good football team, and we don't back down from anybody. We're excited for the challenge, but we know that we need to be on the top of our game this week.
Knowing that hurdle is ahead of you, what kind of defensive adjustments have you made this week?
Well, number one, you're always going to do what your kids can do. And so, the nice thing about being here for 6 games now is you learn more and more about what your kids can do. Now, offensively, they dictate certain things with their formations and their tempo and some things that they do that, there's some things you have to do at times to defend them. So, but at the end of the day, we've got to be fundamentally sound. We've got to be able to execute our base stuff and go out there and perform it at a high level to succeed.
What about them on defense?
So defensively, they're similar to us in how they attack offenses and how they line up. And, I would say that they've done a nice job on defense this year, but their offensive side of the football is definitely where they're really strong.
Coach, if you had to pick out 1 or 2 big keys to the Scots winning this ball game, what would that be?
Number one, you always have to win the turnover battle. Number two, would be last week we took some penalties that were unnecessary. You have to eliminate those things, pre-snap penalties, even post-snap penalties with personal fouls and whatnot. We have to be sharp in those areas, and then you just have to be able to execute in this team in all three phases.
Lyon College taking on the SAGU Lions. Hey, stay tuned. We're going to come back with starting lineups and the start of this ball game after this 2-minute timeout. Coach Creehan, let's go get one.
Yes, sir.